3, 2, 1.
We are live.
We're live.
Yep. To talk about Andor.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the series at the moment, Jake?
Better than most.
Yeah.
Better than most Star Wars series that are around now.
Yeah, it feels more mature, the series.
Mm-hmm. Like he's straight up the...
Yeah, the beginning bit where he's like, he doesn't give a shit about the Empire at the beginning. Like, he's not involved in the war or anything. He's looking for his sister that got missed or been kidnapped or whatever.
Well, last we see, she was on that planet, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. He's looking for his sister who's like, who he hasn't seen for, I don't know, how many years, a lot of years. Because he was a kid when he was last saw his sister, I think.
And I must apologise for the food because I'm eating.
You probably should have waited until you're done eating.
No.
Why not?
I don't care. They can hear me crunch and chomp, crunch and chomp.
If you're watching this back later, skip ahead about 5 minutes and we'll be done eating.
You didn't really listen to that. Yeah. So they released the first 3 episodes on, was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. Wednesday just gone.
Yep. Does that mean we get one episode a week now? I think that's what it means.
That's usually how it works. There'll be an episode next week. Wednesday. Just cleaning my computer.
And the first episode was really interesting because after the beginning bit when he's in that, it's like in a brothel or something.
Yeah, some brothel on some corporate control planet.
And there's two security guards or whatever they're called. What are they anyway? The people.
They're like corporate security officers, aren't they? Like, it's like a mega corporation. It's a something, I can't remember what the company's called, but the shortened version is Premox. It's like Wayland Yutani, Way you know. But they're like corporate security officers, you know, corporate control police.
Yeah.
And they basically...
I'm pretty sure that people are on, like, were meant to be working. And they weren't meant to be in the brothel. But they got mad at Andor. Cassian. What's his name? Cassian?
Cassian Andor.
Yeah, they got mad at him. Yeah, and then he leaves because he can't find it. His sister's not there anymore. She's moved on. Yeah.
Yeah, check the stream to see if you can hear yourself talking. Just making sure I am.
My voice
What?
is there, but I don't know if it's as loud.
Double check.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'm checking it right now. Is my voice like echoing? I think it is.
No, you sound fine to me, at least.
Yeah, but
On Discord, I don't know about YouTube.
maybe did you turn up on the stream then? It's my voice like echoing, I guess. I don't know why.
No, you sound fine to me, at least.
Fuck, I don't even know how to fix it. Yeah, but
On Discord, I don't know about YouTube.
I can hear you on the stream because I just turned the volume up.
maybe doesn't that sound like echoing up on the stream then?
It does because I'm on the Discord watching. No, not. It's not echoing while we're talking to you.
I'm on about for YouTube because it sounds like it is.
Well, let me go look.
So this is off this.
Yeah, well, the problem here is you have all the setup, and I don't use OBS for this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're not normally. You don't normally do this. That's what the problem is.
But yeah, Cassian bumps off those two guys who harassed him.
Yeah, they arrested him, weren't they?
They were just they felt.
Reese's voice echoes. Yours doesn't, Jake.
It must be. Maybe it's because he's watching the stream.
Yeah, I paused it.
I was just watching the stream.
So when the guys like walk out, but when Andor walks out, he gets stopped by the
Yeah, he gets stopped by the corpos.
yeah. I
And
love
he-
how you don't actually see him like walking up to him, but it's just on his face when they're like appearing.
Yeah,
And
right, and when they try, pardon me. And when they try shaking him down, Cassian headbutts the guy in the face so hard it either breaks his neck or sends him into a wall where he cracks his head open or whatever. Because it kills him.
Yeah. He instantly, he's instantly dead, but he doesn't know that first.
My guess is Cassian.
Get your friend up.
My guess is Cassian accidentally broke his neck because he hit him too hard.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
When that guy says we can go together, starts begging for his life. We can go together. We'll tell them what happened. We got into an accident. He slipped and fell or whatever. And Cassian knows the moment they walk in.
The guy's just saying that to get
Oh yeah,
out.
he knows the moment they walk in the police station, that guy's going to snitch him up, so he shoots him in the face.
Yeah, but he should have known that by saying we're going together to the station that he's going to get killed.
He should have just said, I won't say anything, He slipped and broke his neck.
Yeah, I still think he would have been killed.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no way you could keep him alive because he would have instantly told someone what happened.
It's pretty tragic, to be honest. I mean, as much as a dickhead he was, I don't think that guy really deserved to die.
Well, no, he didn't deserve to die, but
neither of them did.
You have to do whatever you can.
They were just arseholes, that's all. They weren't savage dickheads, were they?
Obviously, it's like, I didn't mean to kill him, it was an accident, but the other guy's going to grapple me and say I killed him on purpose, or whatever, so I have to kill him.
In that galaxy, you have to look out for yourself.
Yeah.
Especially at a galaxy where it's run by the Empire.
Yeah, and then he fucking runs and gets to the ship that he came in and leaves the planet.
Yeah, that ship, that's a pretty cool ship.
And then, what planet does he go in? It begins with an F. What? Is it Ferrix?
Ferrix, yeah.
Yeah, that's where he heads back there and he meets his worker friend. He's like,
oh yeah, he says like, we went for a drink at yours.
We went to a drink at yours, and yeah, we were there all night. And his friend's like, yeah, we were there all night. That's what we do. Just so no one knows that obviously you left to kill those people. And then I think we get a flashback to when he was a kid.
We get several flashbacks.
No, but yeah, the first one is when you see when the ship like gets explodes and it crashes on the planet. That's our first one that we see them all looking at it like, wow. But none of them like it's like it's like a native language that they're speaking.
Yeah.
You don't know how to speak English to when they later on as we see.
Well, that's why he has an accent, doesn't it? And they explain that's why they use Diego Luna's accent, you know.
Yeah.
No, like Diego Luna's natural Mexican accent. They pass it off as being this, alien accent.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Canary. Yeah, you got to remember, like Diego Luna is a 42-year-old man playing a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Because
from a film, it's a prequel.
Well, it's like because Cassian was 26 when he died in Rogue One. So this takes place 5 years before that, so he's 21.
Yeah. It's playing it's a prequel to Rogue One.
Yeah, you've seen you've seen Rogue One, haven't you, Adam?
Yep.
Rogue One's one of the best Star Wars.
Oh, it's amazing. It literally puts the war into Star Wars, you know.
Yeah.
If you think like the others are all space operas, right? Like there are battles, but they're very few and far between. Like when you're watching Rogue One, you genuinely feel like you're watching some kind of war movie, you know, set in a fictional science fiction world.
If you think about the original trilogy, you know that none of the characters are gonna die.
They all die down here.
In the first movie alone, there aren't any actual battles. You know, you got that air battle. You know what is called the Battle of Yavin. That's the whole point of it, the Battle of Yavin.
It all happens because they end up on the Death Star.
The Death Star, I suppose that's why it's called the Battle of Yavin. It's because they attack the Death Star and destroy it above Yavin 4. That's a space battle. But I mean, any proper ground battles, you know, proper wars, you know, we don't see any proper ground battles until Empire Strikes Back on Hoth.
Yeah, on Hoth, yeah.
Right, the prequels are where it started to really, you know, become wars, you know, because you got the Clone Wars, you had the Naboo proxy war on Naboo.
That's what it was about. The prequels, the Clone Wars is what sets things up for the future.
It's like the original trilogy. It was about the Galactic Civil War, as it's come to be called, and for the most part, there isn't many actual full scale battles going on except for the second film. That's what Rogue One tries to show. Like it tries to show that during the Galactic Civil War, there was actual battles going on because you had that war of that big battle on Scarif where nobody lives. You know.
Yeah, it's and you know that
the rebels.
Whatever happens.
The rebels undertake a suicide mission to.
It was to get the plans on Death Star.
I mean, it didn't start out as a suicide mission because they tell Bodhi keep the engine running when you're our way out of her, and they all get killed. They all get killed off one by one. They all die one by one.
Yeah, the Force is one will be the one is the Force.
Yeah, Rogue One. May the Force be with you. In lore, that's why. In the lore now, that's why Luke Skywalker called his aerial unit Rogue Squadron. Named him after Rogue One.
And so the next thing that happens in Andor is when he visits its friend. What's she called?
Biggs. Biggs. Yeah, Biggs.
Yeah, he goes to meet her so she can.
So he can
contact the person that he wants.
Yeah, he uses her as the middleman to contact someone who's looking to buy his Imperial ID block, ID cube that goes in the ship that he's illegally scrapping up. And the guy he contacts the guy he contacts is a rebel spy. Played by
he's trying to get credits so he can escape the planet
Yeah.
because of what he did.
40,000 credits. But yeah, the rebel spy, I can't remember what he's called. Low something, begins with an L. And he's played by the fucking amazing Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, I recognise him. He's a good actor.
He's a legend, he is.
Yeah, well, we do see when the obviously the new recruit guy. Where is he? The planet, whatever the planet's called, where he's like talking to his superior, saying two of our officers were killed, and then the guy's like, yeah, let's just not say that even they were killed. Let's just say an accident.
Oh no, yeah, the deputy inspector, who was very much an office desk man, because when he tries to give that speech, it's completely pathetic.
Well, yeah, that's when he's going to the planet.
But yeah, like
when we first meet him,
he's he's talking to the chief inspector. He was like, the chief inspector is I actually agree with the chief inspector. As horrible as it is, the chief inspector has the right idea because Premox is a corporate planet. It's independent. The Empire have no presence there. But he has to go to Imperial Review for the crime rate in that sector, and they want the crime rate to be low. If the crime rate is anywhere near high, the Empire are going to see that place is disorderly, let's put a garrison there, and it officially comes under the jurisdiction of the Empire, which means the citizens get oppressed and potentially killed. So the chief inspector, he's looking out, he's putting the 2 deaths of his employees under the rug to protect every single person on the planet.
Yeah, because in episode 3, we see what happens when you don't listen to your boss. Because we had 2 people that was dead, now we've got a whole fucking squad that's died.
Oh yeah, the entire squad gets wiped out trying to get 2 guys.
Yeah, which just made the situation worse.
They
just put a target on the back too.
Not even stormtroopers will be that incompetent.
But yeah, the guy he's not really a bad guy because he just wants to solve his co-workers getting killed.
Yeah, but he's naive and he's not seen the bigger picture. Like
that's the thing. Yeah,
the chief inspector is doing, he tries to sweep it under the rug for the greater good, but the deputy inspector's like, no, we've got to solve this murder.
Well, he's just naive and he wants to solve.
He wants the fucking glory of it all, I think.
He's basically a cop. He's not. I don't think he's like bad.
It's basically, if you were to compare it to the real world, it'd be like some small town cop finally having something exciting happen in his town, and he wants to chase it up against the advice of more experienced superiors who are like, just let it go, let a larger law enforcement agency take care of it, and then the small town cop's like, no, I want my glory, I want something to do.
He gets put in charge because my other boss is away. And he's like, I'm gonna do what I want now, not what they tell me to do.
And the boss says, what does the boss say? The boss says he's going to an Imperial. He's actually leaving for an Imperial review at that moment, and he's expected to say that the crime rate on that planet is low, which he wants to do to keep the Empire away.
But yeah, the guy goes in one of those rooms and finds out about what ship was there, who came and gone, who came and went at what time. And the guy's like, it'll take forever.
He is a bit of a cockend though, because he bullies his employees into doing what he wants.
Yeah, but he's like, someone wants that chair, so he would do it. Oh, you gone.
I like it when he walks into the control center as that dude who's eating the Star Wars equivalent of a carton of noodles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the blue noodles.
He's got a blue box. He's eating noodles out of it. It's like some like standard day on the job in like 1980s New York City. On the computers, nothing to do, eating a box of Chinese noodles.
Thousands of what search for
You see,
any
you
shit.
see that in old movies. The cops in their old offices in like New York or whatever in the 80s or the 70s got fuck all to do, so they just sit there at the desk chomping down on Chinese food.
Yeah, because that must be how peaceful the planet is. That it's not have anything to
There's
do.
nothing to do, yeah. And that guy, well, because there's been 2 murders. You know what I think? I think the copper, I think the deputy inspector, he doesn't care that his 2 colleagues have actually been murdered. He doesn't care that justice needs to be done. He just wants to, he wants to solve to be the one to solve the murder because it's probably the first time in fucking forever that anything's happened there.
Well, is he a new recruit, that guy?
No, he's a
Because
deputy. He's a deputy inspector. I mean, he probably is new, relatively new because he's very, very young. But he probably went through officer candidate school instead of enlist as like a proper recruit, a lower officer. So basically, he's fresh, but he's been put in a position of power because he went through an OCS. So that's how he's become the deputy inspector, despite the fact he's very inexperienced compared to the sergeant who's a lot older than him.
yeah, well, yeah, it's like make it like they did something good.
Yeah. You see it in movies all the time. The younger lieutenant or lieutenant, if you're American.
Lieutenant. It's just weird.
It's spelt the same. Well, technically, Adam, lieutenant came first.
Yeah.
You guys just say it how it's spelt, lieutenant. It's spelt
Like normal
lieutenant.
people.
Well, it's spelled
They misled them.
It's spelled Lieu, lieutenant, but the original pronunciation is lieutenant. Now, don't ask me why; it just is.
That's just the way.
That's how it was for hundreds of years, long before the United States.
That sounds like a French word.
It probably is a French
Probably
word.
is.
That's why I
It
say
does
don't.
sound like it.
That's why I say don't ask me why it's pronounced lieutenant. That's just how it used to be pronounced and how it still is in most parts of the world. I think more countries say lieutenant than they do lieutenant. But anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, you see it in movies, a commanding officer like a lieutenant would be younger and naive, whereas he'll have a sergeant or a staff sergeant who's technically below his position, but is much older than him and much more experienced because he started out as a new recruit and worked his way up, whereas this young officer has gone straight into the officer candidate school and graduated as a fully fledged lieutenant or a captain or even a commanding officer basically, but they have no experience, and that can and does happen in the real world.
That's the guy just wants to find out who killed him.
Yeah.
And then he gets a hologram of him, of the guy younger.
Yeah, when he has no beard. They should have just shaved Diego's beard. It would have made him look a lot younger.
But they brought the girl in from the brothel to
Oh yeah,
tell him,
with that weird fucking hairstyle.
Yeah, a weird style. Then I think they find out that a ship left, and
Yeah.
that's the end of the episode. They can't. I'm trying to think.
Can't remember. What was I saying? Yeah. Well, as for Andor compared to the other Star Wars TV shows, like The Mandalorian is it's action oriented. It's adventurous and action oriented, but when you think about it, it's not as brutal as Rogue One or Andor.
They're all sticking with the same thing.
When people get shot,
they've not changed from them.
people get shot in The Mandalorian by the blasters. It's the typical Star Wars getting shot by a blaster, falling down, getting hurt. In Rogue One, not Rogue One.
Aliens.
In Andor, some dude gets straight up shot in the chest with a blaster, and you can see the visible burn hole right through him. And he falls to the floor, and his eyes are wide open, and that is like, that dude is dead. You don't really see that in Star Wars.
Is he called Tim or something?
Something
The
like
guy
that.
gets killed. Yeah, because they've tied her. They've put her in handcuffs. The girl, Pitts.
Plus, it's implied that him and Biggs had sex, which is something that never really happens in Star Wars.
Well, they're in a relationship, I think.
They are in a relationship, but she goes to his house and she's seen stripping off, and the next morning she's waking up in his bed. And you're thinking, they don't really show sex in Star Wars, they never have. That's about the closest I've ever seen, to it implying that they actually had sex.
Yeah.
That's how mature this show is compared to.
They did it.
Luke and Leia never did it.
They just kissed once.
They did it.
They kissed
once.
They kissed once when they didn't know.
Sure. That's what they want you to think.
It's not incest if you don't know.
Whatever you tell yourself.
Incest. It technically it can be, but the technical definition of incest is when you knowingly engage in a relationship with a blood relative, a sexual relationship with a blood relative. That's incestuous.
Yeah.
But if you do it by accident, like Luke and Leia had no way of knowing they were twins. So it's not like once they found out they were twins, all feelings of romance just went right out the window.
Yeah, then it became sister and brother.
They loved each other as brother and sister, yeah.
Yeah, she fell in love with Han Solo.
Yeah, it's like when Han says, you love him. I was like, yes. He's like, okay, when he gets back, I won't get in the way. So she's like, it's not like that at all. He's my brother. And you can see the cogs turning in Han's head as she, and she kisses him. I've seen funny videos about that. Like, what Han was thinking about at that moment is the moment when Leia kissed Luke a year earlier. But anyway, yeah, when that guy gets shot, back to what I was saying, when that guy gets shot through the chest by one of those pre-mox cop officers, he doesn't have that, typical Star Wars, just falling over, like, the big comical death, where you just, you see, like, when a stormtrooper gets shot, they go, oh, and they go flying down, don't they?
Yeah,
There's like spark. It's a lot more comic cartoonish, yeah. It's a lot more light-hearted, because it's you don't think like they've been shot by a blaster, but it's not gory, it's not brutal. They've just
think about it. When he's like, he doesn't shoot the guy straight away. He thinks about it for a few seconds before he shoots him.
And then when that guy gets shot, Tim, whatever his name is, he gets shot in the chest. He goes down. There's a fucking hole in him, and his eyes are wide open. That's like.
Yeah.
And you're looking at that. That's not what you've ever seen in Star Wars before. That guy is fucking
he was
dead.
Killed. He didn't even have a weapon on him when he was killed.
And he lies there on the floor for like 10 minutes with his eyes open.
And she's got to sit there and see that.
It's like this motherfucker's dead. He's been shot. Like whenever you see someone get shot with a blaster in Star Wars, you brush it off like, oh, he got shot with a blaster. It's not so bad because it's not gruesome or gory.
We even see the fucking kid get killed in this episode. In one of the episodes.
Oh yeah, that girl. She gets shot in the back, doesn't she?
Yeah, and no one what they all blame Andor for that. Like when she gets shot because he didn't say anything. But
I don't think they blame him. He didn't do anything wrong. We don't know what they're saying. They just pick her up and take her back. Andor doesn't seem to be, they don't seem to be paying any attention to Andor.
Well, yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna go inside the ship and start smashing shit up. He sees himself and then starts smashing it all up. And we meet that old woman and that guy and the droid.
The little droid, yeah.
But yeah, the end is like annoyed and stuff getting smashed. And the guy's like, oh, let's go into the noise. It could be anything. And she's like, well, there's only one way to find out. And then they find the kid smashing shit. And they try and talk to him, but he doesn't understand English. And then so the woman's like, we can't just leave him here because there's already a ship on the way to. It's an Imperial ship or something.
It's a Republic ship.
Republic ship on the way up. one of the people got killed by the tribes people. So she's like, we can't leave him because we'll kill.
Andor, yeah, he gets because I was saying he started out as a separatist.
I just see you doing that.
What? Messing with the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, once this is done, you're gonna have to put that annotation over it immediately. I'm gonna give you the account back. You'd have to put that annotation over it immediately. Don't want, just none of my personal information on my screen. I just don't want it going anywhere.
I think, yeah, I think next time you can get like an image on like the.
Send me the image beforehand next time, and I'll put it over before the stream starts.
Yeah.
I should have thought of that, but oh well, too late now.
Well, yeah. I don't know how Callum does it, but he puts a picture on there sometimes.
Well, it's right here. It says edit. I'm pretty sure if that's how you do it, because I've never actually put a picture over a stream before.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with it because I might fuck up.
I just saw. Because I've never actually edited a stream while it's actually happened. I don't want to press that in case it stops it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
What was I saying?
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, Andor definitely a lot more brutal and dark and gritty than other Star Wars media that I've seen before. Even The Mandalorian.
We even have a Scottish guy that says shit.
Shit.
Gets your swears. I don't think we've heard like a Star Wars character swear before.
We've had bastard, and that's about it.
Yeah, this one is very mature.
I can think of twice that someone says the word bastard. Being in The Last Jedi and The Mandalorian Season 1, someone says the word bastard.
You bastard.
If you remember, what was it when Din drops off that Twi'lek guy, the criminal, on that space station? They pay him. He drives away. He flies away. The big hairy dude says, "Kill him," and it turns out he's put that New Republic transponder in the guy's pocket. And when they figure
out, in Andor,
what?
When he's trying to get the money, when that guy's trying to get money off Andor, and it's like
oh, the big tall dude says he brought you into this. And he just said I had to stand here.
Just
big tall dude. Like what?
Why would you get if it's his friend? Why would you get him to?
It's like well, that's the thing. It fails spectacularly because Andor knows that guy isn't a bad dude. He's got you here what to threaten me? Like he said I just had to stand here.
Yeah. You should enter the Jedi. Is it Jedi Fallen Order? Like at the beginning, isn't him working on like tearing down ships and stuff? Like tearing apart like Star Destroyers as well.
Yeah, they work on. Sorry, it's 5 years after the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire. Yeah, it's got a dude on Baraka working as a shipbreaker.
And that's exactly what his friend is doing. Andor's friend in this episode.
I think it's shipbreaking. I think that's the way. I think that's what the job is called, shipbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all like working. But then that guy sends the thing out saying Andor is wanted to like all the people on Ferret.
Yeah. Ferrix.
And everyone's reading it saying, "Oh, have you ever heard of this guy from this planet?" And to Andor, and Andor's like, "Oh no,
no, I haven't heard of this guy. No."
So that's me.
But yeah, Fallen Order, they're working as shipbreakers, and that's what they're doing on Ferrix as well. But yeah, it's quite sad seeing in Fallen Order those old Venators from the Clone Wars era getting broken down, turned into scrap. And Bracca, there exists like a scrappers guild, you know, and they
Oh, from the video game.
the scrappers guild or whatever it's called. They wear those distinctive blue and yellow capes that you can wear throughout the game. It's a rain cape, isn't it? Because it's usually raining on Bracca. And there's that giant fucking thing, the big massive maw. The big monster. But
turn them all down.
Bracca reappears in the Bad Batch, if you remember, Reese.
Oh.
It's where Wrecker, his chip gets out. They land there with Rex so they can take the chips out of their heads. On what
that planet, yeah.
Yeah, they go to erect Venator to use the medical bay there to take the chips out, and Wrecker is activated on it.
Yeah, there's that creature that lives there too.
Yeah, the big thing, the big maw. I think it's called the Bracca Maw or something. But yeah, the guild, it shows that they have a closer tie to the Empire, because you can see those two guild members on the platform. They grassed them up. Anyway, we're straying off track. Back to Andor.
Well, yeah, we see that the next day he's talking to her. What's her name?
Biggs,
She's
yeah.
like, I'm surprised you came. But you might be after you. Oh, you see it. Oh wait, actually, I forgot about one part where he talks to the one who brought him up, basically his mom.
The woman, yeah. I think the actress's name is Frances Delatour. Pretty sure that's her name. She's been in a few things.
She's like, you got anything to add? He's like, no. And then the robber.
Like, show it. Yeah, it's like when you're walking on your missus and you know you've done something wrong, you can just sense it, but she's not giving you any clue. It's like, what feels like, you walk in, it's like, hi, and it's like, hey, and oh, right, welcome to today's episode of What the Fuck Have I Done Now?
Yeah, he plays whatever's been said about
the wanted poster,
yeah, the description of it. And he goes to like the bar with Bits, and we see that Tim is listening in, and he's fucking everybody drunk and pissed off, thinking that.
And he walks to the payphone.
Yeah, he drafts on him. So that's how they know where he
a payphone that can reach all the way off planet. They have some fucking good payphones, don't
they? Yeah. And then we see like a squadron of like, it's about 40 of them that go to ferrets.
Yeah, those pods. But let's talk about the actors. Diego Luna starters. Cassian Andor himself. He is an amazing actor.
Yep.
Been in several projects before he was in this. Like
he's in Rogue One. That's the one that we already know about.
He played in Elysium in 2013. Shato Copley shoves a katana into his chest.
I've not seen that in years, so I can't remember that.
Well, that's what happens. He shoves the katana. He's on the floor, so he shoves the katana into his chest, so sharp it goes straight through him and into the ground, all the way up to the hilt. And then he played Miguel Felix Angel. I think that's how you say his name. In Narcos Mexico season 1 and 2.
That's a good show, yeah.
Speaks Mexican. That's 90% of it, pretty much all of his time in that show, he speaks Mexican. Because Diego Luna is fluent in English. There's a scene in that show where he has to pretend that he doesn't speak English because Miguel Felix didn't speak English, and he's there on the plane, and the CIA agents threatening to take off. Just transport him to the US where he'll be tried and sent to prison. Unless they can make a deal on the spot within a minute or before the plane takes off, because they're locking the door. He's like, "You stupid motherfucker! You really did get on the plane with a CIA agent." And he's like, "Wait!" And they start talking. He mentions DEA, and he's like in Mexican. Wait a minute, I reckon I understand that DEA, yeah. He's saying it in Mexican. I understand that DEA. He's like, yeah, right, DEA. And they make a deal against the DEA or something. I can't remember. But it's funny, like out of the CIA agents rambling on about how much of a fucking idiot he is for getting on the plane with them, thinking he'd be safe. And it's only him recognizing the word DEA that gets him out of it. He has to have his conversation translated. He's like, wait, I understand that DEA. You just said DEA. But it's funny watching Diego Luna, a Mexican man who speaks fluent English, pretending not to speak English.
Yeah. Do you reckon there's any other characters in this show, like any actors? Because there's only one, and that was the rebel guy.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's obviously he's in four, but two of the four films are. So yeah, he's in two of them. What else was he in?
He was in. Oh shit. He was in Chernobyl. Or
Yeah,
Shabina.
Chernobyl,
Or
yeah.
Shabina.
That's a good show.
Get us over that building, or I'll have you shot.
Oh yes. And
And
then I don't recognize any of the characters.
and he
Really.
plays in Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune as Baron Harkonnen. He wears a lot of prosthetic makeup and a big fat suit to play the
You
Baron.
won't think it was them if you didn't read it up.
Yeah, it's
You
like
won't know it was them.
I said no harm would come to them, and I meant that. But Arrakis is Arrakis, and the desert takes the weak. And he kills that doctor. It's like, I told you could join her, so join her.
Yeah, and no,
Stellan,
they try and kill him in Doom, but he doesn't die though.
Stellan was born to play the Baron.
Yeah. But apart from that, I don't recognise any other cast actors.
I do recognise some of them. The girl who plays.
Maybe I recognise. I think I recognise Tim. I don't know why, but he seems familiar. Like he was in something like something like that before. Apart, I just don't. Can't think of what else these people are in. But yeah, we obviously they come down to Ferric to get him. But as they're turning up, the rebel guy turns up.
I think the guy who plays the deputy inspector was from Fury.
Maybe. But yeah, the other the one on the planet searching for him, like they go to the other woman's house.
The woman, what's she called? Bix. She's played by Adria Arjona. Yeah, I've just remembered she's in the Belko Experiment.
Oh yes.
And she was in Morbius.
See that movie? I haven't seen it.
And she was in
Morbius.
she's in Morbius as well.
You sure it's serious? That she's in Morbius.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually looking at what she's been in right now. She was in True Detective, and she was actually in Narcos as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow! You know the generic. You know in Fortnite, the generic skin with the black hair and the ponytail and the tank top.
Yeah.
She voices her. Ramirez in Save the World mode. I mean.
Oh, I know what character that is. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Apparently, Forrest Whitaker's going to be in it as Saw Gerrera.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's in. Yeah, he's in everything Star Wars. We've seen him in the Clone Wars film. We've seen him in Rogue One. So he's gonna be in this. He's in the video game. Is he in the video game? I think he is. He seems dead young in Clone Wars, so he's like all the two, like
I just realized the woman who plays his adopted mother, she's not Frances Delator. That's a different one. She's Fiona Shaw. You probably recognise her from Harry Potter. She plays Harry's Aunt Petunia. You know what the Dursley, the Dursley. You know the bitch who's married to the fat guy back at Privet Drive.
Oh yeah. That. Oh my god.
Yeah,
She's a really cool character in this film.
it's funny the things people you recognise when you know what they've been in. She was also in Enola Holmes as well, if you remember. She played the.
I didn't watch that film.
You didn't watch Enola Holmes?
No, but I
Oh,
know the trailer for number 2 came out today.
yeah, it's a banging movie. That tell you what, you need to watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny as well.
Got
What is it?
Henry Cavill in it.
Yeah.
Billy Bobby Brown too.
What is it? When Mycroft comes home and she narrates to the she breaks the fourth wall, and Mycroft is listing off the expenses, the money he sent her mother in order to pay for things that she didn't end up paying for, or just spent on rubbish. Says I spent £400 for a nanny, which we do not have, and a water closet, which does not exist, and a nursery, likewise. And she just carries on, and eventually, like, you're getting the point. And just she's not talking. She's talking to the audience as he lists off the things that he sent her money for, and she never bought them. Like £300 for a water closet, and she looks at the cameras as which does not exist. Oh, it was funny, that movie. I need to watch it again before the second one comes out.
Is it out this year or next year?
It comes out in November, I'm pretty sure.
There's a lot of shit gonna come out on Netflix soon.
Did you watch the trailer for the second one?
No, I haven't watched the first film, so I'm not watching that.
Well, there's not. Well, you'll be having. There's not much spoilers to be had in this trailer because it's a completely different story. The only returning characters are in no. Well, there's 4 returning characters, but like a few of the characters from the first film don't come into it. Right. What else we got to talk about? Because we're at 50 minutes now, almost.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. How's that related to Star Wars?
They're both fantasy.
They're both what?
We haven't talked about.
No, Star Wars is science fantasy. Warcraft is
in the name.
Warcraft is high fantasy.
Warcraft is fantasy.
It's just fantasy altogether. That's why I prefer science fantasy, like Star Wars. You know, bit of science fiction, bit of fantasy. You know, put them together, win-win.
Well, we haven't.
If you look at Star Wars, all the technology in Star Wars is super fucking retro, isn't it? Like, you know, you're talking because obviously it's a product of the 70s, the original film, and because of the technology that was established with the universe, they've had to keep that 70s looking technology in the universe, haven't they?
Yeah.
So if you look at all the technology, it all looks all dead boxy and retro, doesn't it?
So let's talk about the. So do you reckon this rebel guy is like the mentor? Like
He's gonna. I
gonna be a
reckon
mentor into
he's
Andor.
he's gonna train Andor how to be a spy, obviously.
But is Andor gonna have to kill him eventually?
Whatever happens, I don't see him surviving the show because, you know, he never appears in Rogue One, and he definitely doesn't appear in the original trilogy.
What if he like makes Andor do things that he don't want to do with that relationship?
Andor doesn't seem to have a problem doing things that he wouldn't want to do, as we've seen in Rogue One.
He's been forced into the rebels. He didn't want to. He didn't want to be part of the fucking war.
It doesn't seem he doesn't seem to have a problem with it because you see in Rogue One, he's adapted quite nicely to his role as a rebel spy.
Yeah, but that's like 5 years in 12 years away.
Remember his very first scene in Rogue One as him shoot an informant in the stomach when he realizes that guy could get captured and give him away.
No, but we're gonna see him obviously learn from like people. Yeah. But I think his mentor could be worse than him, like do things that he won't ever think of in his life.
Well, I suppose we'll have to see. But yeah,
It's
Cassian's,
either that or he gets killed by someone else.
Cassian's very first scene in Rogue One, they get caught by stormtroopers. Cassian's forced to kill them. That fella who's his informant says, "I'll never be able to get out of here. I've got a bad leg." So Cassian's like, "Just calm down, relax, everything's gonna be fine," and just fucking tops him by shooting him in the stomach, so he won't get captured. It's like, one thing Rogue One did was establish that the rebels were not all nice and heroic and shiny. They had their darkness, I mean, you have to. They were basically waging a guerrilla war against an interstellar empire. They had to be fucking dirty to get the job done. If they had wanted any chance at bringing the galaxy's freedom back, they had to play dirty.
Yeah, we know that he plays dirty, but
Play dirty. You had to,
in this show, at first, it doesn't look like he was cared about the Empire much or the rebels.
well, he lives on an independent planet, where the empire has no presence. He lives in the corporate sector, doesn't he?
Yeah, but now he's been forced into the war. So.
Well, the thing is, he's still not actually in the war, because if you think about it, he's not actually attacked. He's not actually done anything against the Empire yet. Just those corpos.
Yeah,
but he's going to get involved in. He's going to get in. And the corpos are. They do live under the thumb of the Empire, even if they are independent.
Yeah, but if you think about it, now that they messed up, the Empire are going to get involved in their business.
Yeah.
Because he messed up really bad and got people killed.
So don't you want to fight the bastards for real?
And yeah, this guy not very good at speaking. So like his people, when he's on the ship, he can't talk.
Well, that's the thing. He's a newbie, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a new officer, new meat.
I love the guy behind him. He's like, "Good speech, sir. Well said."
Good speech, sir.
Yeah, this guy.
If he pinches his nose, like, for fuck's sake. Who brought this twat along?
He brought this noob.
Yeah, it's like when you go into a multiplayer game and you got that friend that's like, you're forced to bring that friend that nobody likes because they're so annoying. It's like, do you mind if we play with my brother-in-law's little brother today? Because it's like, yeah, we play. What? It's like, because he wants to play with some friends. He hasn't got any friends, and he's quite new. I was like, do we have to? He's gonna get us fucking killed. He's gonna drag us down. and he's there trying to be cool and integrate himself into the group, and everyone's just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
No, I love about this, like the third episode of this show, is the set piece of like the factory where the shit starts falling down.
Oh, the parts that hang from the ceiling.
You have to use cover and stuff.
I reckon. Oh, pardon me. I reckon Biggs is going to find that Imperial cube.
She probably is, but she wants revenge. That's angry.
She'll want revenge, yeah.
She's pissed. Not just angry, she's pissed.
She was even more angry. She was angry at him before, though, because, she figured out he was the one that grassed up Cassian.
Well, she didn't figure it out. He fucking told her,
Yeah, well,
he knew information that he weren't meant to know.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I let her figure out. And how do you know who we're talking about? Like you, fucking grass.
Yeah, but he still cared. But he was a fucking grass. And now he's just like he brought down. People are getting pissed now. Everyone's angry against the Empire. I think some of these people that we saw are going to come back into it. I'm pretty sure on that.
Yeah.
I was when he ties the ship to a fucking. What would you say? Like a generator or something? I don't know what it is.
He just ties it to a big. He just ties the ship to a piece of junk, doesn't he?
Yeah, the guy flies off and instead of
Instead of trying to land again, he thinks, oh, I'll just try taking off.
Yeah, then he gets tied around some fucking.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, this guy gets in his ship. This cop, right, is told to take off, survey the area. But some resident, a friend of Cassian, has attached this nylon cable to this big piece of junk and wrapped it around the ship. So he tries taking off, and this big piece of heavy junk is weighing the ship down. And this fucking idiot keeps trying to take off until the cable gets caught on something and brings him down, and he crashes and blows up.
Yeah, explodes and they think, and by that they're like, that means they're coming from behind us. So we're surrounded. But they're not actually surrounded by anyone.
But it's just funny, like this idiot, is like, oh, I'll still try taking off, even though it's very dangerous, and this thing is weighing my ship down.
Yeah, they're like this guy who's incompetent. He killed fucking Tim, and then he
Jumpy, isn't it?
killed himself.
Jumpy trigger finger.
Yeah, like he shot him, and he hasn't even got a weapon on him.
That's the thing, like that's why that officer
guy
took
takes
the
it off
he took the gun off and like, give me that. Go to the ship.
On my own? Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, the that's surrounding Andor. The guy hides in like that in like a room, and Andor behind him puts a gun to his head.
Yeah, he nearly kills the fucking residents there as well because he's jumpy as well.
Oh, yeah, when he runs in there and the residents are there.
Yeah, those little aliens, they just run out in a panic and he just shoots them nearly.
I do love when Andor gets behind him.
Yeah, it's like click, hello. That'll be on TV tropes, won't it? It'll be like, TV tropes. What are the TV tropes on? Well, TV tropes is click, hello. This is a trope used in fiction when someone comes up behind someone, sneakily puts a gun to the back of the head, and clicks, pulls the hammer back, so it's like click, it's like.
Well, he was hesitant of killing him, but the guy behind him, the rebels, like, kill him, do it, go on.
But
instead of killing him, they tie him up.
Do it now.
Well, tie him up instead of him.
Cassian's already killed someone in Cold Blood. I don't think he wants to do it again.
That's what I mean. He's going to be put into situations where he might have to do that.
Yeah, and 5 years later.
It could cause a conflict, yeah.
5 years on, he's a ruthless killer.
Oh, yeah, he's a ruthless killer. Yeah, but they send out like a little spaceship car thing, whatever it is. All ship so they destroy it.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's just a decoy. Just they can fly it out on like. But what you call that thing? It's like. You've seen it before. What are they?
What?
Whatever the vehicle is a vehicle.
Speeders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speeder, they top the bomb off and kill multiple people. And the guy goes into shock, the main guy's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, what have I done? Right, we've got just over a minute left, because I was going to end it on an hour. Any last little things you want to say before I end the stream?
On this Wednesday.
What?
And Halloween month, we're going to be doing Halloween like podcasts and stuff. Talking about maybe talking about The Thing and stuff like that.
The Thing, yeah, it's my favourite horror movie.
Yeah, we'll do that in a podcast next. No, not next week. I think it's the week after.
No, it
is that week because next week's like the
Paranoia.
It'd be the first one.
I'm not sure. Check a calendar.
Yeah, let me just check the calendar right here.
But yeah, Paranoia is an effective tool in horror. And that's why it's probably my favourite horror movie.
Well, actually, our next podcast will be on the 28th.
Yeah, because it's not October by Wednesday.
Yeah, I was thinking because it's Saturday, obviously I was going off today, but yeah, Wednesday's normal podcast day.
Next Wednesday or this Wednesday coming up?
This Wednesday coming.
Wednesday coming up, so 4 days from now.
Right, well,
We'll just, we'll probably talk about Andor episode 4. That's I know what stuff.
a little bit, yeah.
Because we're gonna do this because it's 3 episodes. That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about. Like, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, the one viewer who is yourself.
No, it's not me. We're about.
No. Yes,
Please
Andor,
like
good
and subscribe and share.
Andor, good show so far. Hope it gets better. Ta-ta.
I hope it doesn't go on shit. But anyway, yeah, thanks for listening. Goodbye. I think you end it at the top there, Jake.
I bent it. Right, yeah.